Welcome to episode number 8 of the Going Solo podcast, the weekly podcast for solopreneurs who want to make life and business work for them and not the other way around. I'm Knight Dutkewich, corporate dropout turned business coach, and someone who learned the extremely hard way what it actually takes to run a successful solo business. Each week I break down the real strategies, the mindset shifts, and yes, just a little bit of woo-woo to help you to build a profitable business on your terms, because it is not the market, it is not your toxic ex-boss, it is what is going on between your two ears. So before we dive in this week, I want to share something with you that I am so proud of. I'm now supporting coaches at every stage of their journey. So everything from starting from scratch and building a solid foundation to becoming fully booked to scaling and thriving with ease. And you won't find another coach who does things quite like I do. So if you're tired of the vanilla advice, if you're sick of overpromises and underdelivery, and you want somebody who genuinely cares and also kicks ass, I've got you. So here's the rundown. There's 3 different offerings. The first one is called Build, and this is for the coach who's just starting out or thinking of starting out and wants some real momentum. This is the 10K Club Academy, and this is going to help those coaches who are new to the game lay solid foundations, and it's absolutely perfect for somebody who hasn't yet started and wants to grow and hit consistent 5k months by the 6-month period. Okay, so it's 16 weeks of group coaching, it's somatics, because that's, remember, running a successful business is 90% emotion and energy and mindset and 10% strategy and tactics. So we do both of those. There's a fantastic community and there's my proven workbook. The second offering I have is called Booked. And this is for the coach who is not brand new, but who is struggling to see a consistent income and wants sort of clients lining up. And this is the 10K Club Accelerator. And this is a combination of one-to-one coaching with me, not somebody else. You get me. A full year of group coaching, again with me, and somatic support, and the kind of workbook and mindset and strategies that makes your success inevitable. And I am so confident about this program that there is a return on investment guarantee. I guarantee you'll make your money back. And last but not least, there is my Thrive offer, and this is for the coaches who don't need another workbook, they don't need another blueprint, and this is called my In the Arena community. So this is coaches who are bold, are brilliant, but are battle tested, and they might be weary and they might feel a bit let down from some of the support they've had, and they don't need another Find Your Why exercise. They need some real support to grow their business, surrounded by people picking glass out of their knees and getting up and do it again. So if you want to start, if you want to grow, and if you want to thrive and scale, I've got you. Now remember, I don't work with everybody. This is why I do a fantastic podcast, because I really care about who's in the room. But if one of those feels like your next move, wherever you're listening to this, reach out. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the antidote to the number one reason that coaches and solopreneurs quit, why they fail. And that is they give up too easily. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how not to quit. You're very welcome. So I want to be really honest. I almost quit my business 10, 20, 30 times because I was exhausted by watching other coaches and solopreneurs get traction when I was stuck. I was running out of money. I was still clinging to a backup job that I was grateful for, but I didn't love, but I couldn't afford to leave. And I really was starting to doubt that it was ever going to work for me. And if I had quit, I wouldn't have had months like this one, and it's only the 18th, where I've already made more money than I would have done working in corporates in about half the time without any of the crap that came with it. And the work I do is enabling for lots of other people to do the same. So very, very grateful I did not give up. So if you are in that, this isn't going to work for me, maybe I should just pack it all in and get a job phase, I got you. Okay, so the first thing I will say is business is an emotional game. Okay, one more time. Business success, running a successful business is a game of emotions. Most people think success is about strategy, the right niche, the perfect offer, the best marketing tactics, how to DM people. But the truth is, strategy means nothing. Zero, zip, nada, zilch, if you don't know how to handle the human emotions that come with running a business. Having successful business is 90% managing your brain, your emotions and your energy, and only 10% tactics and strategy. Now, are those tactics and strategy really, really important? Absolutely. You can't just manage your brain and not do it. But the reason we don't do the tactics is because of an emotion. Okay, so people come into entrepreneurship and working for themselves thinking it will really feel exciting and joyful and easy, and like they'll be really proud of themselves and it's really rewarding. And can it be? Absolutely. Yes, it can be all of those things. My job is exciting and joyful at times, but not right away, okay? And honestly, I don't think it will ever be easy, and I don't think it ever should be easy. And if it is easy, I'm going to suggest your goals aren't big enough, okay? So it shouldn't be easy. That said, we can operate from a place of ease. So ease, along with joy and freedom, are my core values. And it's really important that ease and kind of flow and trust is not the same as easy. I approach everything in life with ease, but I never expect it to be easy, because that would be naive, and I'm not naive. Okay, so the most common emotions that solopreneurs face in business, particularly in the first few years, are fear, frustration, self-doubts and resistance. Notice it wasn't excitement, joy and ease. It was fear, frustration, self-doubt and resistance. Now, what does that look like? Fear looks like overthinking. Doubt keeps you stuck in planning mode and research mode and gathering more information, consumption mode. Frustration, and some people will say jealousy. Even when we're kind of jealous and envious of other people, the primary emotion is frustration. And frustration makes you want to burn it all to the ground. Frustration makes you want to set something on fire, okay? And resistance keeps you in action, okay? So if you are feeling any of those, you are in the right place. And when it comes to confidence, most people have it backwards. Confidence doesn't come after you do the thing. It comes before, because you won't do it without it. Confidence comes from your belief that you can attempt the thing and figure it out. Now, the solopreneurs who make it aren't the most capable. I'll be really honest about that. They're not the ones with the best strategy. They are the ones with the emotional resilience to keep going when it feels hard. Because it will feel hard. It will feel really, really hard. And nothing brings you face to face with yourself like running a business where what you are selling is you. How do emotions show up in business? So typically, solopreneurs and coaches and humans, quite frankly, deal with emotions in 3 ways. The first thing we do is to avoid them. This is my particular English raised choice. We avoid them. We pretend we're fine. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. We push through. Stiff upper lip. Never complain. Never explain. We ignore the feelings until one day we can't get out of bed. We can't walk up the stairs, and we call that burnout. Burnout is usually a long time of extended unprocessed emotions. Okay, so we avoid them is the first thing we do. The other thing people do is they let their emotions drive the car and run the show. Fear, doubt, frustration take over. People react impulsively or they freeze. When people's emotions are running the show, it is really easy to see in their faces. They look like they're about to cry. They get quite angry. They get frustrated. They think that it should be happening by now. When their fear runs the show, they will feel very much of a time pressure. And the other way that people process emotions is to acknowledge and process them. So those people notice their emotions. They realize that they are not their thoughts, they are not their feelings, they are the entity observing their thoughts and their feelings. They allow themselves to feel them. The anger, the rage, the frustration, the jealousy, the self-doubt, the loathing, the creeping negative questions of worth. They allow them to be there, and they feel them, and they punch a pillow, and they do EFT tapping and somatics, and get with a community to speak how they're actually feeling, and then those emotions will go. Now, most people don't do the third one. The third one takes practice. If your brain is running unsupervised, which what most people's are, you will always be bouncing between avoidance and reaction. Avoiding your emotions, and that's when we buffer. We do things like eat, scroll on our phone. People end up with porn addictions, sex addictions. We shop too much. We gamble. You might drink. You might, take drugs. Whatever you do, we buffer them. And my buffer of choice, not too shockingly, is food. So when I don't like to feel my and this is something I'm working on all the time, is I eat too much. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't gamble, but I do eat too much. Potatoes. Okay, so most people avoid between avoidance, and they end up buffering, and reaction. And reaction is when they kind of get overly emotional and will kind of freeze, fight, or kind of fawn. And so what's the goal? The goal is to get better at processing emotions. Those emotions aren't going anywhere. That is the brain doing its job to let you know what you're thinking. That's the brain's job. It's trying to get your attention. We want to get better at processing. Because when we stop making emotions a problem, we stop making business harder than it needs to be. Because quite frankly, it's hard enough. Right, okay. So to be successful in business and not quit on yourselves, there are 5 emotions you need to master. Okay, there's 5 solutions you need to have. Now, these 5 are going to make or break success. This is what I see every day, and I get asked all the time, what's the difference between those that make it and don't? It's these 5 emotions. Okay. Now, the first emotion you need to have is trust. Trust. I call this surrender, usually, but people don't like that. They feel like it's giving up. I see it a bit differently. But trust is recognizing that the human experience and life and business is a combination, a process, one thing after another of highs and lows, highs and lows. Some days you will feel unstoppable, like think of Rocky at the top of those Philadelphia steps, like with the little kids behind him. You'll feel unstoppable. Other days, total crickets, and you won't even be able to wash your hair. Now, trust and surrender is what keeps you moving. Now, what do I mean by trust? I mean trusting primarily in yourself. If you don't have your own back, do not try and work for yourself. It is the number one thing you need to do first. You've got to have your own back. You've got to trust yourself. You've got to trust in the process that you're following. And if you're not following some sort of process and strategy and tactics, you need to be. I can help you with that. So you've got to trust in yourself. You've got to trust in the process. And regardless of what you call it, I call it the universe. Some people call it gods or existence. So you've got to trust in yourself, the process, and the universe, even though, and especially though, when there's no evidence it's working yet. Okay. Trust and surrender to the inevitability of this happening is what will make you bounce back from a masterclass that no one came to, masterclasses where no one bought, failed launches, no from clients, posts that flop, without spiraling or making it mean anything. And the first thing we make it mean is that we think we should quit. Okay, it's not what it means. It means you're in the game and you need to double down. Okay. So trust is about surrendering instead of controlling. The number of clients that reach out to me that said, oh my goodness, I was feeling so so scarce about where the next client was coming from. I was really stressed. I was kind of going to email people, and then I just decided to surrender. Just surrender. And then what happens? 20 minutes later, without fail, somebody who is their perfect clients will email them out of nowhere, it's not out of nowhere, and say that they're desperate to work with them. And it happens every single time. So trust is surrendering instead of controlling. Surrendering instead of controlling. Now that doesn't mean you can't take any action. You can sit on your couch eating Doritos without showing up and letting people know what you do and how you do it and expect people to come to you. It doesn't work like that. You have to take action. But when we take action from the place of it's already done, it's inevitable that clients are already there, and we choose to trust instead of controlling, the results show up. It's a physics thing. Okay, so it's choosing to believe long before the results show up. And it's knowing that your success is inevitable, your work matters, your people need you, even when nobody's there yet. Okay. All right, so the first one is trust, really, really important. And the second emotion that you need to be successful is obligation. Now, I used to feel a kind of certain way about this word. It's kind of got quite a negative rap, obligation, like we're obligated to do something. It's almost as if it's against our will. I see obligation a bit differently. For me, obligation is a calling. So it is Easter Friday here. It is in the afternoon. I'm in Vancouver. It is beautiful outside and I'm sat in my office recording a podcast. Would I rather be outside on a deck chair? Yes, as much as I love you all, I'd rather be sat outside with a lovely cup of tea and a deck chair and a custard cream. I am obligated to do this. It is my responsibility to show up and serve my people and to make the difference that I can make. Because if I don't show up today, those people who are thinking about quitting, worried there's something wrong with them, might just quit. So I'm obligated to show up, okay? And as soon as I've done this, I'm out to the deck chair. All right, so it's got to be bigger than you. It's really got to be bigger than you. And for me, that money piece is never enough. When you make obligation come from, I have to pay the mortgage or I have to pay the rent, or I don't know, I'd like to go and see, I'm so old I can't think of a pop star, Yeezy in concert. That won't work. So when it's kind of a materialistic point of view, it won't work. Obligation always needs to be about them, It needs to be about serving them. It has to be bigger than you. When it's just about you and your comfort, your fear, your resistance, your self-doubt will always win. But when it's about them, the person waiting for your offer, your story, your voice, it makes you stop hiding and start leading. So obligation isn't pressure. Obligation is purpose. Okay? So obligation isn't pressure. Obligation is purpose. And if you don't feel obligated to do the work you do, pick something else. Okay? Number one, Joe's tip of the day. If you don't feel obligated to do what you do, pick something else. It won't be enough. It won't be enough. Okay? So what are you obligated to do? What are you obligated to do? And don't say I don't know. You do know. The answer is probably in something that you overcame. Maybe you got sober and you're obligated to help other people get sober. But for me, I was born with this kind of contradiction of self-doubt and self-loathing and whopping confidence and ambition. It's like just constant headache material. So my obligation is to overcome my self-doubt and heal, and to be an example of what is possible for others, and to help people to blow their own minds. Okay, that's my obligation. My obligation. All right. So purpose and obligation is what fuels you when nothing else will. Okay. So the first two emotions: trust or surrender, and obligation. Okay. Now the third one is, this is where I always think of the lion from Wizard of Oz, is courage. I'll fight you with one hand behind my back. I hate when people talking about reframing fear. And like, oh, fear is a new door, fear is a possibility, is absolute bull wapple. Fear is a primary human emotion. It is simply evolution's way of keeping you alive. For as long as you're living, you will have a fear response. It's a good thing. People without fear responses start chopping up people and putting them under the floorboards. You want a fear response. It's a good thing. Okay, so stop trying to reframe fear. It is bonkers. It doesn't work. What does work is you need to cultivate courage. And I blame Hollywood for how we kind of think courage looks. We think courage looks like Chris Hemsworth, we wish, kind of charging into battle, like standing tall with kind of swelling music in the background. But real courage is snotty. Real courage is snotty. It is not glamorous at all. Real courage looks like sobbing on the bathroom floor and trying again tomorrow anyway. Real courage looks like feeling nauseous and showing up anyway. Real courage looks like shaking hands under the table. It's a really cool guy that I think will probably end up working with me at the moment, and if he's watching this, he'll know who he is. And he started showing up on lives, and it's not his comfort zone. And he's doing it anyway. And afterwards, when I talked to him, he's like, I was sweating underneath. That, my friends, is courage. When you go live and you don't want to, and you're sweating under all your clothes, that, my friends, is courage. Courage isn't loud. It is not fearless. You cannot be fearless. You should not be fearless. Courage is feeling the fear and moving forward with it anyway. Okay, courage is what gets you there. It's hitting publish when every ounce in your body is screaming, no, 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 there might be a spelling mistake. In my case, there is. I hit it anyway. Okay. It's sending the pitch when your voice is shaking. It's selling before you feel ready. I've been doing this for years. I make a good living. I don't feel ready most days. I don't feel ready. I don't feel ready for this. And yet here I am. So if you can cultivate courage, you can build anything. All right. So what have we got so far? We've got trust, we've got obligation, and we've got courage. Okay, number 4. This one for me is not the most sexy, and it is and it's really important. It is commitment. Ugh. Commitments. Okay. Now, recognize it is not excitement and it's not motivation. It is commitments. And for me, commitment is discipline to discipline. Okay. So I am not someone who naturally has a lot of discipline. Okay. There's some chocolate choices have been made, clearly. I am somebody, however, that has a lot of commitments. Okay. So commitment is the decision that you're in this no matter what. That you will keep showing up and refining and failing faster and improving until you succeed. So without commitment, every obstacle feels like a reason to stop. Okay? With commitment, every obstacle is something else to figure out. And trust me, my friends, every day working for yourself, there will be something else to figure out. Okay. This is my favourite, and I don't think we talk about this enough. If you want to not quit on yourself and in your business, the emotion you need to rely on are self-love and acceptance. You cannot shame yourself into success. One more time. You cannot shame yourself into success. You cannot wait until you feel better to believe you're worthy. So self-love is what lets you keep going when things get messy. It's what allows you to keep going when you get negative feedback. And you will get negative feedback. When you get rejected, when you get ghosted, when people that you brought on to help you with your business, who you trusted and considered them friends, let you down. Your heart will break a little bit. Your heart will break. And then you'll blame yourself. And self-love and self-acceptance is that voice that allows you to keep going when things are difficult. It's what is going to allow you to take imperfect action and forgive yourself and others without tearing yourself down. It's the voice that says, it's not even the voice that says, I am enough. It's a voice that doesn't question whether you are enough. If you are listening to this and any part of you is questioning whether you are enough or worthy, I want you to stop. Okay. Now that decision of whether you are worthy or enough was made on the day you were born. It's a birthright. You are worthy, you are enough, you are important. It's a complete waste of time and energy, and it's a waste of your obligation to question your worthiness and your enoughness anymore. Stop. You are enough. You are worthy. And if you need a note from me to say that, send me a message. Okay. So self-acceptance, loving and accepting yourself as you are, with the extra pounds, with the teeth that aren't very straight underneath, with the closure rate that's maybe not where you want, with the number of people that didn't sign up for you this week. Self-love and self-acceptance is accepting all of it. There's a really big myth that's been cultivated, I'll say from the patriarchy, that is kind of where if we're self-compassionate, if we're kind to ourselves, our performance will decrease. And we'll kind of lose the edge and we'll lose the ability to kind of perform highly. I'm trying not to swear, it's rollicks also. It's rollicks, complete rollicks. The opposite is true. When you have your own back, when you know that you are worthy and enough and your value is not for question, and when you are compassionate, it will demand you live your full potential. So self-compassion demands you live your full potential. If you want to increase your performance, if you want to increase how much money you make, how much impact you have, increase your self-compassion. It will not make you lazy. It will not make you less gung-ho. It will make you far more effective and far more successful. Go and tell the rest of the world, please. Self-compassion, self-acceptance is the way to go. Okay, because when you lead with compassion, you create safety inside yourself, and that safety is what makes bold moves possible. And also that safety is very attractive. I really believe one of the main reasons clients choose me, especially when they've worked with other people, is because I am a safe harbour. I feel like safety. I feel like comfort. I help them to be safe in their own bodies. And I'm all for really big goals that blow your mind. Okay, so safety, basic human needs. Okay, so how do we handle our emotions so that they don't handle you? So what works? So the first thing you want to do is to name it. Name it. So I don't want you to say like, I feel off, or I don't know how I'm feeling. You do. Don't ever say that again. You do know how you're feeling. You just don't want to because it's easier not to. Okay. I want you to say, I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling fearful because I'm afraid nobody will buy. I'm worried that I'm going to have this masterclass and no one's going to book a call. I'm frustrated because people are signing up for other people's masterclasses and nobody's signing up for mine, and I'm thinking there's something wrong with me. Name it. Naming your emotions takes away its power. Okay? Right. Then the next thing you want to do is you want to allow it. You want to feel it. Feelings aren't emergencies. It is a vibration in your body, which is your brain's way of letting you know what you are thinking. Okay. Now, just because you feel fear, it doesn't mean you have to stop. Now, what it probably means is that you have to calm down and return to safety. Okay? So you don't just want to go from fear to courage. You want to go from fear to safety to courage. What makes you feel safe? I am enough. I am worthy. So just because you feel doubt, you don't have to believe it. Don't believe everything your brain tells you. Your brain is a bit of a dick most days. Right, you want to let the emotion be there and take action anyway. And you want to identify the thoughts. So instead of, I'm failing, try, I'm learning. I'm here. I'm in the arena. There's a reason my coach's program is called In the Arena. There's a reason it's called In the Arena. Instead of thinking nobody wants what I sell, start thinking I'm figuring out what works. The thoughts you choose will determine how you feel and how you show up. Okay, so remember, the most common emotions starting a business are, see if I can remember them, self-doubt, fear, frustration, and resistance. Okay, they're all quite negative, low vibration emotions. And where that surprises us is we think it's going to be exciting, rewarding, joyful. Okay, it will be, and it will also be frustrating, self-doubt inducing, resistance building, and scary. Okay, and how do we get over those? We get over those from trusting. We're trusting ourselves, trusting the process, trusting the universe. We surrender. It is already done. Number 1, trust. Number 2, obligation. We make it bigger than ourselves. We are called to do this work. If you are listening to this and you don't feel called to do the work, pick something you're called to. You're welcome. Number 3, courage. Really, really important. Fear is not going anywhere. You've got to cultivate courage. Courage is not sexy. Courage looks like snotty tissues on your desk. Okay, that is courage. Courage is those voice messages you leave for your friends where you're snotty and sobbing. They're beautiful. Number 4, not discipline, commitments. Commitments, really, really important. And number 5, self-love, self-compassion, and acceptance. Okay, so remember, running a business isn't just about what you do. It is about how you manage what you feel. So if you can develop courage and obligation and commitment and self-compassion and trust and surrender, you will outlast 99% of other people who quit when it gets uncomfortable. So this week's challenge is pay attention to your emotions, the F word, feelings. Where are they holding you back? Where are you waiting to feel confident instead of choosing courage? I want you to pick an action that feels uncomfortable and do it anyway. Okay, if this episode resonated with you, I would love you to share it with a fellow solopreneur and coach who needs to hear it. And if you want to create a wildly successful coaching business on your terms by mastering the strategy and emotional skills in business, check out my coaching programs. Because just because you're going solo, it doesn't mean you have to do this alone. I've got you. Until next time, take care.